everybody out there in every coaching industry is struggling with this issue.
We're back for part two with the founders of Mexit, Brad Gollin and Rob Wilkie. Thanks, guys, for coming back on.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Rob.
My pleasure. So you are both veteran entrepreneurs with multiple startups under your belt. And I found in my career, when we're doing these startups, we have these great ideas. We say, gee, we got to make a business out of that. And we get excited, we fire it up, and then we realize we got to go out and get business, right? That we need, who knew? We need customers, we need clients. How did you guys, in your careers as startup entrepreneurs, how did you deal with the business development question? And tell us how you have built out your unique business development platform that we're going to talk about today.
Well, it's interesting because I found that there was a bigger learning curve for our Mexit sourcing clients than there was for my other startups. I mean, every one of my
Okay.
other startups, as the CEO founder, I'm the chief salesperson. So, had to identify a target market, go out, verify them, validate them, and, had to be a hunter, go out and hunt, kill, bring it home. And we found that we started that process with Mexit. And for the first couple of years, we were going after business owners. And it was funny, though. We ran events, we ran all sorts of different types of promotional materials, positioned ourselves as subject matter experts, all the usual stuff in terms of promoting and selling services. And we got crickets. And so what we realized, we were getting clients, but what we realized is every client we got was through a referral. Where people are really looking at us to be trusted advisors, and the only way we really get a proper hearing and we're able to close business is when somebody who's already a trusted advisor brings us in. And that was really the key. That was the epiphany for us, was recognizing that we had to be brought in at a different level of credibility, and that had to come in through somebody else who already had a relationship with that business owner.
Okay.
And
That's an
so,
epiphany. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay.
and so then what we did is we then built a strategy around that. So what we developed was this, what we call our client acquisition life cycle. And so we
Nice.
started basically by building community. It's okay, if other trusted advisors are the source of us being able to get these referrals, then we need to build a community where we can find out who else is in the ecosystem, who's doing what,
Yes.
this type of thing. So that was the first step. So this life cycle of finding a client is first building community. From that community, who are the people in that community that are a good fit for us? So it's then from the whole community finding a small subset, a group of other people with complementary but different expertise, services, those types of things.
Yes.
And then it's really building a team together.
So in the SEPA world, right, we talk a lot about collaboration and finding all the members of a business owner's advisory team that should be part of a good exit plan. Um, how's what you built complementary to that?
Well, we started with a unique proposition, which was, you know what, we need to get everybody in the same room. And then we have to frame the conversation so that everybody understands that they're part of the team. So we built what we call our Business Exit Advisor Network meetups,
Uh-huh.
and we call them Bean meetings, and we've now
Okay.
set them up across Western Canada. But the purpose of the Bean meeting is to create an ecosystem of advisors, but also provide them with a framework around the conversation, which is every business owner needs a team around them, whether it's for themselves doing the work that you do, right? They need a team around that. And every business owner needs a team around their business to make sure that business is ready for their ultimate exit. And what we found was when we frame it out that way, and you're a member of a team. You could be a member of both teams, but you're a member of a specific team. Who else is on that team, and who do you need to have in that room with you? And how do you build that conversation, and where do you fit in the exit planning life cycle? So we actually put together a presentation that talks about this is the exit planning life cycle. These are the different stages of it. These are the people that need to be involved. Where do you fit?
Yeah, excellent. Okay, and just so I understand, the bean meetings are include business owners or they're strictly targeted at advisors?
Strictly targeted to advisors.
Okay. And if I was wanting to build out one of those meetings here in the Midwest, do you help me do that? What are you doing at Nexus to continue to grow that ecosystem?
Yeah, what we've done is actually using Playbook Builder, we've put the entire process we've developed, the 4 stages, which is build community, from the community, build your team, with your team, co-market, and it's setting each other up as subject matter experts, creating shared content, all the typical co-marketing things. But the pinnacle of that is really then to run events. The events is where the rubber hits the road. That's where the events is where you bring in business owners, but
Okay.
the business owners are warm invitations. Every person on your team has to bring in a minimum of 3 business owners. And this was a process proven up down in the States that was given to us by somebody else we met through SEPA. And they've bored our community building. And so the last step is once you've got that event and you've met them, they'll typically follow up. It's a pull, not a push approach. And when they follow up, you close. So all 4 of those steps are kind of laid out in our playbook, and we give that to other advisors. So if you just contact us, we'll give you access to it, and the
Excellent.
tools, the resources, the process, the invitations, the templates, the presentations, all that material is actually in the playbook.
Wow, that's very generous. So are you marketing to EPI chapters? Who's your audience? Who do we want to make sure finds you?
Both the SEPA community and particularly the Value Accelerator community,
Aha.
and also business coaches that do business growth transformation. Because whether you're doing exit planning or you're trying to help a business grow their business more effectively,
Yes.
you still have to find clients.
Yes. Okay. So active bean meetings do you have? How many communities or business communities have started this?
One, two, three, 5 of them in Western Canada at the moment.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, and they're run by different advisors in each of the areas. So in the Edmonton area, we have a group of advisors who've taken the ball and are running with it. In a community called Kelowna in the Okanagan Valley in South Central BC, there's a SEPA advisor who's taking that and running with it. Brad actually facilitates 2, one in Victoria, one in Vancouver, and I facilitate the Calgary one.
Maybe folks that are listening, tell us a little bit more about Playbook Builder, how you found that software, and how you selected it. How does it bring value for the people that use it?
The founder of Playbook Builder, actually, I met him at an EPI event,
Okay.
and his biggest client is the Entrepreneur Operating System. EOS is actually on his platform. And it wasn't a hard choice. Robert and I had actually talked about it. 3 of my startups, my 3 biggest failures in my startup history were SaaS applications. And I swore, and Robert laughs because we both had similar experiences. The minute you start writing a piece of software to deliver a tool, a content, a resource, you're in a whole different business. And I swore I was never going to do that again. So
Okay.
the Playbook Builder platform was designed to do exactly what we needed to. It's really sharing resources, setting people up so that they can learn and use and collaborate, and all that functionality, the administration functioning, even the revenue model in there. There's a licensing revenue model that you can charge through. All of that's built into the system. So it was pretty easy. We did a quick evaluation, looked at some of the other things on the platform. John's been super helpful in helping us get set up. So it was
Great.
not a tough decision. It works quite well, and his price point's excellent in terms of the value proposition.
And,
The
and
other
you guys
thing
have
that
been, you were kind enough to share what you've built, kind enough to share that with me, kind of give me a sneak peek. It looks like it's very user friendly, very intuitive.
Yeah, one of the big things we liked about Playbook Builder was the fact that we could customize how we set it up to deliver the content we wanted. So I mean, we have so many resources we've created over the years to help business owners, and you can't just put them all in one spot and go, oh, here, have this toolbox. So we actually framed out the process in Playbook Builder and then built the resources that tie into those processes so that it's really easy to use, user friendly, and is very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's simple.
How many are each of your bean meetings, are those, they're leveraging that platform? And I guess, Brad, to your point earlier, you're providing everybody with the exactly how to. It's not just, hey, here's what you should do. You guys provide the solution that is, and here's how you do it.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, that
Okay.
was one of the challenges that we ran into when we first started working on exit planning was what is exit planning? What is value acceleration? How do you do it? And while there's lots of books out there that say, well, you know what, do this, this, and this, there's very little in the way of saying, well, how do you do that, right? And the other thing that you've got to consider with a business owner is you've got to take them, like, well, I was in the military, we learned how to teach. And you take a person from the known to the unknown, right? So you start with what a business owner will understand, right? You build simple processes to help them actually do the things they need to do. You coach them how to do it, and you mentor them along the way. And the reality is every business owner needs to start at a foundational level. What is it they've got, and where do they got to go from there? So we built our entire framework around business transformation and value acceleration, which the
Okay.
value acceleration is the consequence of the business growth transformation program. You cannot help but accelerate value of the company if
Yes.
you do these steps, right?
Yes.
So we built it on a very foundational, additive level. Two things have come up in our conversations with advisors, right? One is, what is the process to follow? Because, there isn't a really clear model on how you walk a business owner through, which is what we built. And the other one, which is really what we started this conversation around, which is, how do we find clients? Really,
Okay.
right? And that was the comment that John gave to us that said, you guys have built a client acquisition model that I've never seen before. And he said, everybody out there in every coaching industry is struggling with this issue. How do I find clients? Well, the reality is you find clients by finding the people who have the clients and becoming an equally trusted advisor with them.
But you said earlier, Rob, that the epiphany, kind of the aha, came from maybe some input that you got from other folks in the market asking you, okay, this is great, but how do I do it, right?
Yeah,
What kind of
yeah.
things are you hearing in the market, and as people are seeing the solution you're providing, are they having that same epiphany that your system works?
Um, I'm gonna have to defer a couple to Brad on some of that. But
All right.
what are we hearing is they want to use it, they just don't have the client to use it with.
Ah,
Right? That's the challenge
yeah.
that we've got. We launched a pilot January of last year, 2024, with 10 advisors across North America. And
Yes.
every one of them came back with the same problem, same question. Love the platform. I love working through this. This has got a lot of great content. How do I find the right client? And so that's when
Aha.
we actually said, well, we need to refocus our energy not on trying to get advisors, but on trying to help advisors get the business. Because if we can help advisors get the business, we have the platform they can use to deliver that.
It was a learning curve for us, recognizing that they really don't need the platform until they have the client. We've seen a lot of these toolboxes out there, and they charge you for using them from day one. And you may or may not ever get any benefit or revenue from those platforms, but you're still paying the bill. And
Yes.
we wanted to flip that upside down. So
Okay.
we want to help people get the client. Once you got the client, it's easy to justify. If you can make $5,000 a month doing value acceleration work with a company, and the tool to deliver that work, to hold your hand through the whole process over a period of years, costs you 500 a month. That's a pretty good ROI. That's not a
Sure.
hard pill to swallow. But we're not going to charge you until you're generating revenue, because then to us it's a no-brainer.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Generous pricing model, but I like the fundamental core of the idea, right? Which is until you're bringing value that you're not charging folks for. That's excellent.
Well, one of the things that we had this epiphany even 5 years ago when we started looking at this is we said there is in Canada alone 800,000 businesses, in the U.S. 4 million plus businesses of
Yes.
owners that need to do something.
Yes.
And you know what? You can't make it an exclusive club that only a certain number of owners are going to get access to a certain bunch of people based on the amount a person can pay to buy the platform. So we said the need is huge. Communities will suffer if we don't see this change. So we
So
said
true.
we want to democratize the exit plan and growth transformation process to accelerate value in companies to make them sellable because our communities need it. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very well said. One of my issues is, hey, we can't take this generation that has driven so much change and growth and just say, okay, you're good. Your turn is over. Just go to the sideline and watch your grandkids' soccer games, right? Yeah, you're exactly right. I love the attitude. I love the approach. And as I said, I appreciate you guys giving me a peek behind the curtain so I could see how well built out it is and what a great value added tool it is. So thank you guys again for joining. Appreciate your willingness to share here and look forward to talking to you again soon. If you're interested in learning more about what you heard, including learning more about becoming a SecondWave advisor, please use the link in the description to visit the website, and you can receive the first few chapters of the book for free.